Hey guys, one thing I wanted to also encourage you guys about is one thing that I've learned just within this whole ordeal. Yeah, fuck nigga. Yeah, is that sometimes they will actually use your family against you in a moment. Let's say you're having a good day or the best day you could have, right? So what they'll do is if they can't get to you with the noise campaign, they can't get to you with the voice to skull, the spiritual aspect to it. If they can't get you like that, they can't get you flustered. If you're not upset. If anything they do to you, right, is not this guy's trying to slow down for the other car, but it won't save him. If they can't get you flustered and upset, then they'll try to have people who annoy you come in your circumference. So what I mean is if I'm having a decent day and I call the police on my neighbors now, so I don't even involve myself with the back and forth. I don't involve myself with the back and forth. I literally just call the police and I make a report and I wash my hands with it. But what I was saying was, they can't get to you in their methods, and you have to limit their methods by what you respond to, because you can limit them and you can put them in a corner based by what you respond to and by how they're able to manipulate you. And so for me, what they try to do is they'll have maybe my mom text me, right? And so I'm like, well, what's wrong with your mom text you? Well, if you're a target individual, that alone would be a red flag, right? So if I'm speaking to those who are going through what I'm going through, then you already know. If your mom texts you, and you should already know 9 chances out of 10 she's a part of it. Second, right? The text is not so much of the person, but it's the questions and way they try to go about things. So again, if I said if you're a target, your mom is a part of it, your family is majority, right? What does that mean? That means that you're when they asked you, for instance, for example, my mom had text me earlier today, and she had asked me, was I okay? She had texted me early in the morning, and sometimes they it's after you know that this world is synchronized and that we shift the universe. We literally do. We literally change time in real time. We really we affect the earth in the world and people in real time. People who are not even physically around us, we affect them. Back to what I'm saying. So when you realize that, right, you're no longer triggered by the gaslighting of maybe you being up and them texting you asking you if you're up. That's no longer a trigger for you. That's just something that you just have come to realize that they're children and this is kind of all they have left. So my mom, she texts me and I'm up and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You know how you really can't get any sleep. And she texts me am I up? And so I didn't respond because that's a question. I know I don't ask rhetorical questions. I don't answer rhetorical questions, rather, and I don't respond to shit. I just will sit there and look at the phone. So my mom, when she had texted me are you up? That's the question she knew the answer to. Why? Because 9 chances out of 10, that's why she texted me. She texted me up because she knew, and I'm pulling up to my parents' house now. She knew that I was up. So of course, right? Of course, of course you know I'm up. That's why you texted me, right? And then the second part was, the second part was when she had texted me later on that day to ask if I was okay. That's another stupid question. I didn't respond to her. And a lot of times, you gotta understand there's many reasons why people do things. A lot of times they like to get a gauge for your mood with them. You know what I mean? They like to get a gauge on where you stand with them, and they can be listening to you say fuck them in your head, right? But it's not good enough for them. So that's a part of the gaslighting. That's a part of them also sometimes, wanting to try to pick your nerves. So sometimes what they'll do is they'll deliberately ask questions that they know the answer to just to gaslight you. So before you came to the knowledge, you may be like, well, fuck, that's weird. I was just thinking about my mom, or I was just thinking about doing this. And that person or her texts you. And some people say you're synchronizing with the world. Look, I'm telling you, you can be manipulated like everyone else. The thing is that we're manipulated least than the majority. So then when my mom texts me later on, asked me, was I okay? That's another dumbass question. I'm not going to answer that. If you know what I'm going through, if you know that you are a co-participator, and I forgot, what's that word? If you are a participator, right? Let's just keep it simple. And the shits, and you know what I deal with, because you're not only a part of it, you're not only not talking about it, but you're contributing to it. Again, participating. Don't ask me a dumbass question. But again, that's what they want you to do. They want you to then stir you up, so then they can put you on a live feed, right, or whatever they want to call it, and then they can. But see, the one thing, and that's why I tell you guys, right, one thing about me is I tell people how I feel about them in their faces, so no one can say I talk behind their back, because I'll say fuck you to your face. Because what are you really gonna do? What are you gonna beat me up? You can try. You understand? You can try to intimidate me, but that's as far as you're gonna get. You can yell, you can scream, but in the end, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's protect myself. So that's what I'm saying with you guys. You have to protect yourself physically, spiritually, mentally, and it's difficult. I'm telling you, man, right now I'm dealing with a mind game with these people, and it's kind of because I've defeated them in everywhere else, at this level. There's different levels. I still have a house and a car, and that's a level. Okay, and I know that, they would not have wanted me to have these things to date. I've been going through this for 4 years. And so for the last 4 years, the Most High has blessed me to be able to maintain a vehicle and a shelter over my head. And I know there's targets out here who don't have either. So I do not take that for granted. And I realize that it's not always a reality, and it may not be a reality for me in the future, just because of how they try to sabotage you in the workplace, and they try to sabotage your opportunities for you to even be able to survive. Neither here nor there. What I'm getting back to is, don't let them trigger you. I don't care if it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend, who 9 times out of 10 have been planted right there for you. Still, ignore them. Fuck them. If they want to get mad, if they want to think things, let them. Let your peace comes first. You come first. Okay? Your peace comes first. Okay? We're so good and nice as far as loving and nurturing, as far as empathetic, and we empathize with these people so much, even though they do so much dirt to us. It's just a nature, it's default. That even when you've been done wrong to these people, you still ask your question. You still have, I catch myself asking sometimes, like, okay, was that too much? And I have to tell myself, no, besides it lining up with the kingdom of the Most High, or not lining up with His will, or, maybe not speaking to my, as He would wish. But, that cheek and cheek is context as well. Besides it lining up with the will of the Most High, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned with hurt feelings. And you guys shouldn't either. You should not be concerned with whether or not you're hurting these bums' feelings. They're not concerned with hurting your feelings. Okay? I guarantee you, they don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something. If they're wishing for you to die, that should be enough right there. So, I just want to come on here. There's another message to just kind of encourage you guys to, look, pay attention to the signs and the people in your life. They will always expose themselves. Sometimes they expose themselves, right? My enemies expose themselves not thinking that it would bite them in the ass. And now, as you can see, the world is dealing with enemies, the same type of people who we have in our lives, who didn't think that that people would find out that shit stunk. It's not a matter of fact of them knowing that shit stinks. It's a matter of you know that shit stinks. And so now we're in a situation where our enemy's shit is being exposed. And my, what a whiff of shit that is. Understand? So, and as I close, understand that, I know that Trump is one man, and I know people have different perspectives and beliefs and how they feel about Trump. So fine and dandy. What I'm also saying is that the guy is trying to do something. Okay? Instead of him trying to cover up the pedophilia, he's trying to expose it. Okay? You got to give the guy some credit. Okay? Instead of him actually sitting up here with these demons and feasting and laughing, he's laughing at them. Okay? This is the first time in the world where you see a presidential candidate bucking up against the system publicly. Okay? And actually surviving it. Okay? So I feel about Trump what you I'm not racist, so I don't get involved in a white-black thing. Everything is situational with me. What I will say is that people are always going to take things and run with it to the best of their ability, to the best of their privilege, and the best of their uses. Whatever they can manipulate that situation, they will. Okay, you have people that are for Trump just because it sounds good, just like people were for Obama just because it sounded good. So you got to understand, guys, that this is not a situation where you want to, be, oh, he's racist, or he wants the Mexicans. Look, bro, let me tell you something. Okay, when you realize that the world is racist, you're no longer concerned with just one person. Okay, the whole damn world is racist. Okay, everybody don't like somebody for whatever reason, right? For whatever reason, somebody doesn't like somebody. Okay, and if it happens to be because of race, let them be ignorant and feel that way. As long as this person is not physically trying to harm you or anyone that you know or your person, I say fuck it, man. I deal with racism as it comes. I don't come up my house screaming racism because let me tell you something, guys. Black people have done more to me in 4 years than white people have done to me in my 30 years of life. I'll be 30 this year, okay? So when it comes down to racism and all that hoopla, I don't look at white people like that. I look at black people like, you're the scumbags. You're the fucking scum. You know what I mean? White people have a history of doing what they do. Your history is being incarcerated and enslaved by them. What's your excuse? So as I close, guys, just be vigilant, man. This is a time for us to not be weary, because but if you faint not in due time, you reap, right? That's paraphrasing that scripture, but this is not a time to be weary, fearful. This is not a time to, this is a time to strap on the boots, the helmet, the breastplate of righteousness, and to really challenge your enemies. You understand? This is a time where you challenge your enemies. Okay? Because you understand, sides are going to be taken. They've already been taken, but see, these people are going to have to take these sides in the open. They're going to have to acknowledge the beast. They're going to have is no more making okay signs and one eye signs on your motherfucking social media account. It's going to come down to the nitty gritty where Satan's going to need you to step on this side. Okay? And you're going to be on this side with everyone else, or you're not. We already know where we sit at. And the table where we at, everybody can't sit with us. Shalom.